Live from the Annenberg Performance Studio at KCRW, please welcome Adrian Quesada.
Hi.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Adrian, welcome.
Thank you.
So good to
Thanks
have
for
you
having
back.
me. Thank you.
Last time you were here with Black Pumas, we had a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Same setting. So first, got to get something important out of the way. Boleros Psicodélicos. Dos.
Right. Dos.
Dos.
That's right. Good Spanish right there. Yeah.
Boleros Psicodélicos.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'll hit you for the third one. You help me with the title. Yeah.
Okay, good. No, that's good to know. So, which translates basically to like psychedelic boleros.
Yeah. Psychedelic ballads, roughly.
Ballads.
Yeah.
And is that a genre that like already exists, or is that something you've basically created?
No, it's so there's a loose term for that, which is more often referred to as balada. So balada is a bolero. How many of y'all know what a bolero is? It's a beautiful form of music. It's a little bit. It's a really the instrumentation, the sound it's a little more traditional. It's acoustic. It's stripped down, organic, really beautiful. In the late 60s and the early 70s, bands in Latin America that were influenced by, rock and roll and soul and everything, listening to the British invasion and a lot of soul music from the US was a big influence as well, started to electrify it and kind of make it like their version of pop music. They started to be called baladas. Some people said they were like Boleros Psicodélicos, so I use Boleros Psicodélicos more because it's a loose kind of term. It's like they're not all exact on this album. They're not all exactly boleros. They're not all exactly psychedelic, So it's kind of like the easiest way to package the thing and tell people what it is.
Do you feel like you've sort of had to become like a professor of the genre now that you have two albums with this name? You have to explain what it is.
The Bolero police is fierce out there, for sure.
There's a pressure to get it right.
There is a little bit. I've been
I saw
part
you
of
sweating a little bit.
Yeah, I used to be in a band that played cumbia and salsa, and we used to joke about the clave police. Like the salsa police is no joke. The bolero police is a little more lenient, and they've been totally cool. But I mean, honestly, like I've done my fair share of like reading, researching, and listening to this stuff.
Yeah,
so.
clearly.
But if you know anything, don't find me out there and ask me questions.
So is it a continuation? I mean, it is in name a continuation of the first one, but were they songs that you were already working on and then like didn't finish and put on this album, or where were you at in creating two when you were making one? The first
There's a couple that were kind of spillovers from the first one, for sure. For example, the song one of the songs we're playing tonight with Angelica Garcia, No Juego, was a spillover demo that nobody liked from the first album. And I wrote and recorded a new 15 songs and sent her all this stuff. And she kind of like ghosted me for a while. And I was like, hey, are you into this? She's like, yeah, I like this one. And she sent it. I'm like, that was from like 3 years ago. So I was like, let's run with it. So there was a couple of spillovers, but there was some new covers I'd always wanted to do. And then there was some new ideas that came out.
So it sounds like it was sort of like a database where you sent multiple people like all the same songs and were like, which one do you want to do? Or
I tried to curate a handful to people. I tried to send like 4 or 5 at a time to people. And then with the covers, I was like, there were certain people that I knew this was kind of in their wheelhouse and it could work. But on this album in particular, the first one was done during the pandemic. So it was done completely remotely. It was never in the same room with anybody. And I'm super proud of it. I love it. But I really wanted to work more intimately on this one with people. And I wanted their feedback, and I wanted to be in the room with them when possible. And like this exchange of ideas, because I feel like I learned so much from everybody that I collaborate with. Yeah. So that this one has a lot more of this kind of intimacy with the collaborators and with the band even. Like we really, there was a lot more back and forth until we arrived somewhere versus them just singing on a track I sent them.
Yeah. So they were sort of like writing the lyrics and the song parts as well, too.
I write no lyrics.
Oh, okay.
You will not want to hear that. Yeah, the lyric police will definitely arrest me real quick. They wrote all the lyrics. I give feedback when they want it. Other than that, I let people run with their concepts. I love what they're doing because the Bolero song form has been around, over 100 years, and the lyrics are incredible and they're timeless and stuff like that. But, a lot of these singers are kind of reclaiming some of this some of the concepts that were in there, the occasional like damsel in distress, like heartbreak kind of thing. A lot of these artists are like reclaiming it and saying like, how can you hold on to that same emotion, but just be a little more empowered and change a little bit of the narrative about it.
Yeah, make someone else the damsel.
Something like that. Me, the one dealing with everybody. I was the producer in distress.
You're the damsel along the whole thing.
Yeah.
I started looking at I was looking at the album and like the names of the people that were featured, and then I was like, okay, I know Angelica Garcia is like from Southern California originally. Cuco is as well. And I was like, where are the other people from? And then I realized, there was one person from Puerto Rico, someone from Chile, someone from Argentina, Hermanos Gutierrez are from like Switzerland. And I thought, oh, wow, that's so cool that, there's not only people, doing songs in Spanish and mostly singing them in Spanish, aside from Hermanos Gutierrez, but they're people from all over places that speak Spanish. Was that intentional for you?
Yeah. I try to make it as worldly as possible. But I will say, like, LA was a big part of this one.
Yeah.
I was in LA, at least once a month last year for the whole year, I would say. I mean, to the point where I almost like rented a place here. I was here so much last year. And then I worked with a co-producer on this one named Alex Goose, who's based here as well. So LA had a big part to do with this one. There's Cuco, Angelica, Trish, Gabby Moreno's here. A lot of the musicians that played on it ended up being from LA as well. So there was a big LA contingent. But yeah, I wanted it to feel international because every region and country has their own way of like interpreting this kind of stuff. I tried to, because there's a little bit of a connection to kind of like soul music with this stuff. But I just feel like, if you try these songs in English, like it gets lost in translation. The Spanish language to me is so beautiful for this kind of music. That Angelica and I did one English version of it, and it wasn't as whack as we thought it would be. Maybe it'll come out someday, but I really did want to stick to Spanish. And I also find like, I said this when I was here last time, like I find a little bit of a responsibility nowadays to just expose people to something. Maybe not everybody has to speak Spanish to listen to this, and hopefully from here they go and find some of the original music, or just open their mind up a little bit to different music, different part of the world.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can absolutely feel the emotion throughout it, which I feel like is one of the most important things about baladas to begin with, is the emotion. And definitely feel it in those music videos. So good. I love the music videos. Did you kind of go in trying to create like a specific world when you were making those as well to go along with the songs?
Yeah, there is a certain amount of like exaggerated drama to some of this stuff for sure. And we ran with that and had some fun. But, a couple of the videos where logistically couldn't get a video with Ed Maverick. Actually, I could have. I was the one that didn't want to go down there.
That was your brain like telling the truth.
Yeah, I'm like justifying it. No, it was not Ed's fault. It was my fault. Well, the Hermanos guys, I couldn't just logistically, we couldn't line up a video. So we just ran with the Psicodélico part of it and just made some like trippy desert animations and stuff. But yeah, we had fun with the visuals. This music is so cinematic. It lends itself to like really cool visuals like that.
Yeah. I'm curious if out of all the songs, if there's one like lyrically that really resonates with you the most.
They're all incredible, and everybody wrote incredible lyrics. The one that really, to me, was wild, and we're unfortunately not playing it tonight because Ile from Puerto Rico does not join us on the tour until in Austin 2 days from now. She couldn't make these dates, but she chose this cover. I'd never heard. It's a song called Bravo. It was a singer from Cuba, and I don't remember who the original composer was, but it was written in the 50s, and it's like the most intense. Like, I just love, especially for the time, to think of a woman like singing some of these lyrics, and she's saying something like, I hate you so much that I wish that I beg God's forgiveness. Like, it's just really intense. Every lyric is like so intense, and she says, hell is like heaven compared to where I wish. Like, just insane. It's insane.
Hell is not enough for you.
Yeah, basically, hell is not enough for you. And I pray to God. I'm asking God for forgiveness because I hope that even when you die, you don't find peace. This was a Cuban woman in the 50s singing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Ile was like, how about this song? And I was like, holy cow, of course. That one to me was just like, damn. And that one kind of set the tone where I'm like, hell yeah, let's do that. Yeah. It's not like you broke my heart. It's like, no, I want you to suffer after you die.
I asked you which one resonated with you. Have you felt that before?
Maybe, yeah.
So you released Boleros Psicodélicos in 2022 and then a Black Pumas album the year later. Are we going to have the same trajectory, do you think, with Boleros Psicodélicos?
Maybe so, yeah. Something like that, yeah.
How about Boleros Psicodélicos 3?
I am working on, I do want to do a tres for sure.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of trilogies. I'm starting to feel like we need maybe a little more time because I feel like people are going to get sick of Bolero. Like, here's Bolero, see more of them. But I actually have a 2.5 in mind, but I do want to do 3. I do want to do a trilogy. Yeah.
What?
For real. So this is all like kind of loosely inspired by the 60s and 70s, but I have a homie in Chicago that was like, he's way into the 80s stuff, and he was like sending me stuff from the 80s, and I'm like, oh, that would be 2.5. Like,
oh, cool.
It's kind of semi-futuristic.
Yeah, I'm here for that. So you already you got the Grammy. You're in the Oscar game. A Tony next, maybe? A musical?
Yeah. I actually was telling somebody because they were like, oh, man, you go for the EGOT. I was like, it'd be funny if I just went for Ego. Just EGO, and forget the Tony, but
there
just the Emmy, the Grammy.
The Emmy, yeah. No, nice. No, but what's next for you?
For the near future, we have a little tour that we just started, a couple weeks of this, a few more shows in the fall, and then, just been working on a bunch of new music as always.
Groovy. Well, it's great to have you here,
Thank
Adrian
you.
Quesada.
Thank you, Novena.